Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we are slightly over our domain limit. So of course that is because we just took over substantial portions of Italy here, and we're going to hop on in here and start handing those out. That will all be very, very important to get that done, because we just can't be 34 out of 14 domain limit. That is not going to be a viable way to play. So we will grant all of this out. That does make me wonder. Above domain limit, I know that might be an interesting way to play sometime. Just play as if it's Europa, and you're not allowed to grant titles out to vassals. Now, that's not how you're supposed to play Crusader Kings, absolutely. I'm wondering if, because generally speaking, the way that it ends up working is locations that are not held by, or that are held by you that are over the limit, will end up being disabled to avoid penalties of being above the domain limit. So they're going to just be disabled, and it will be like they don't exist. So that would mean that your overall power level would be substantially lower, but I think it would still, like, your personal domain within your domain limit would still be a thing. It would be as if the taxes and manpower just went away. I don't know. It'd be weird. It would be weird, absolutely. We should definitely create a kingdom level title over here. There's no doubt about that. And we'll just grant that all on out there. And let's take a look at the kingdom title here. We need to usurp this, and that is absolutely something that we will do. And that de jure goes to this gentleman right here. So we'll show only the recent title. 19 vassals go with, and we have no vassal limit issue for a bit anyway. So that'll be great. Betrothed can marry here, and this seems good. Okay, we've got Apulia here. We could definitely take over Apulia, but for the time being, I think that I want to turn my attention down over this way. I'd like to get Amessid taken care of. We could first vassalize this guy, and that is absolutely something that we want to do. Hadramut, are we still truce to? No, we are not. So we can actually get all of Arabia cleaned up here. That's wonderful. We'll go ahead and do that, and we are going to need to raise up troops, of course. Do we need any more troops than just men-at-arms? I feel like that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll then just head into Jerusalem. They're embarking, but I don't care. They're disembarking immediately? Interesting choice. Is that commanded by ruler? It is. Okay. So we're not going to capture their ruler from this siege, but let's see where he decides to disembark at here. He's heading off over this way towards Egypt. Sure. Okay. Honestly, I think we just siege. This siege will be super fast. He's going to siege here. This is super slow. Like, he doesn't siege quickly. We're at 63% war score right now. These last two here, how much will that end up netting us? Quite a bit. Maybe not quite enough, but he does have this out over here as well. So that is something to remember. That is Myrmidons. Okay. That's not scary, but we can go fight them if we wanted some battle war score. So we'll finish up this siege. And we will head up over this way. Cool. May you grow to be strong and wise. So the Myrmidons are not powerful, right? They're already stack wiped. And in fact, the war is over. So we'll enforce those demands. And we're going to take these guys down to Hadramut. They will, of course, need to hang out over here. This is ours? That explains a lot, actually. We hand that out, and that explains why we couldn't hold this castle. So we'll revoke this castle. Perfect. There we go. And when will we arrive in Hadramut? Well, technically we want to arrive here. 4 months. They're going to finish their siege, but that's okay. No real problem for us there. We'll see where they go next. It's just going to take us a little bit to get over there. And that's going to cost us 74 to embark. That's okay. So we have, of course, upgraded our castles. We're working on cranes next. That's going to be a ways away. We are currently in the late medieval period here, so we are going to be done with our tech somewhat soon-ish. They're actually heading back up over here. That sounds good to me. So we're going to grab this back. We siege it super fast. And we're going to head, I think, straight up over here. Just to make sure that they don't get ticking war score. If they're going to siege here, I'm content with that. They're not. Okay, they're sieging here. Sounds good. I'm assuming this is led by leader. Yes, commanded by ruler. Okay. We can come up here and stack wipe them, and that might actually be the best move here. The fastest way to be done with this war. We'll just grab this for the time being. We'll get a partial occupation of their capital. Actually, that's not partial. Right, this is the capital county. Okay, so we're going to head up here. And they're going to get stack wiped. That's pretty clear. No problem there. And we'll head to their capital next. I did expect that that would win the war, but not quite. Not quite. So we're going to have to take their capital. No big deal there, though. I want to double check that all of our castles are upgrading to the level 3, or rather to level 4. This one is not because it's not Sino-Armenian. Right. We need to get those converted over. That is a thing. We can get royal armories. That is definitely something we can do. We'll take that. And it's just the ones in the Sino-Armenian counties, of which there are 3 that are not able to be upgraded just yet. Okay. So we have a new diplomacy perk available, which would allow us to take, say, adaptive traditions down towards flexible truces. Fantastic. And we're going to vassalize these guys. There we go. And at this point, we disband our troops. And that is the entire Arabian Peninsula under our control. We can now start working on Africa. And I suspect that most of these are going to be pretty easy to vassalize. Should go pretty quick, all things considered. We're kind of big. There's no doubt about that. We're still truced with Roman Greece. So I would like eventually to go after that and get that cleaned up. But for the time being, we'll come down over here. We could force vassalize this guy. And then we could force vassalize this guy. We could do these, I don't know, like maybe 4 at a time. Can we get Axum? Is that too big? Oh, we can get Axum too. Perfect. And then we could go for, like, this person here. Probably better off to do a de jure duchy claim there. We are a little bit low on prestige, so that is something we'll have to consider. We should probably go into our decisions here and call a hunt. Just to start building up some additional prestige. And we'll raise up our rally point here. Do we need more than just our men-at-arms? Not really. I think I'm going to raise a siege force, though. So, like, 2,000-3,000. Shouldn't be bad. Okay, we want prestige out of this. We don't get any extra prestige there, sadly. We can stop gathering there, and we've got 10 days left here. They've decided not to cross, which is interesting. And there's some prestige from our hunt. We will go ahead and host a grand feast next. Although we're going to get faith from that, but I think we're also going to get prestige, maybe? I'd have to double check that. I guess we'll find out. Well, we'll stack wipe this force, no problem here. And actually, this war's just instantly over. So we'll enforce those demands. And this territory is now ours. Cool. Next, we will head into Afar. And we're going to leave a siege force over here. There we go. And these guys, if I can select them, there we go. We're going to grab our bombards and levies. That'll do. And these guys will just head up north. We can head up into, like, here. Sure. We should probably get a siege commander here. That'll make this go a little faster, but it's going plenty fast, if I'm honest. Okay. So we expect these wars to be done fairly soon here, but we're just going to continue annexing this whole, like, Southeast Africa area. No problem there. We got a valuable hostage from the capital, and we'll just hop over here and continue to siege. Until next time, I don't know if we got prestige. I clicked right through it. I'd have to check the actual video there. I'd have to go back and check the video, which I can't do right now, obviously. Sure, let the traitor be known to all. We're at 79% war score, and that actually ends the war. So we'll go ahead and annex this guy. Perfect. And we'll head up over to Axum next. We'll catch this force. And they're actually going to turn around. I think that they'll stack wipe before they get there. Yes. So we'll stack wipe another force here. And then we'll head in here and possibly stack wipe this one. That was only 36% war score to stack wipe both of their stacks there. That's a little surprising. Ah, this is probably why. Okay. We're going to walk away with our siege force for the time being. We need to get our main force over this way. And we can take our siege force to, like, the capital of Axum. Yeah, this'll work. Yeah, no problem here. I'm honestly not sure why they're choosing to siege this back, but okay, that'll be fine. So the Axumite War is over. And we're just going to head over here. That war's over too, they just don't know it yet. So we don't need these guys anymore. We'll keep them up because I don't want to have the penalty for putting them down just yet. We did just discover Renaissance Thought, which I believe... Yeah, that's this one here. Let's see. What is... These are all done. Okay. What is our next... Okay, we're fascinating and exposing cranes. That's probably unnecessary. We're going to switch our fascination to Royal Armory. There we go. So this is all absolutely excellent. Of course, there's a bunch of vassals over here that we're eventually going to want to hand out, but this is fine. We're going to want to clean up this area fairly soon, too. We'll just enforce these demands for the time being, and that was a de jure claim, so nothing to be handed out there. Then we've got this duchy. The question is, are we still truced with this guy? We are not. Fascinating. I think we can fight all of this simultaneously. So we declare war here, and we don't really want to do de jure claims because this is all split up. We want to force vassalize this guy. The question is, do we have enough prestige right now to do this all simultaneously? Some of these we may want to get away with doing holy wars on. Not that one. Okay, so hypothetically, how much would this all cost? 960 just for Abyssinia. 1440 just for Demont. Outer Acheron is too big to forced vassalize. So we'd probably just end up doing a holy war for the duchy. Let's see. Akin is 960. And Adal is, I think, too big. Yeah. So we'd have to go after Adal separately. I think what we're going to do for right now is we're going to work on building up our prestige a bit. And we're going to work on doing some holy wars on these guys that are too big. So, like, we could go for the Duchy of Adal here, take 2 counties off of him. How many would he have at that point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's still too big to forced vassalize, I think. So we might have to do a second holy war for Duchy. But we can do this. That's fine. We could holy war for this duchy as well. I don't think that's strictly speaking necessary. What about holy warring for this duchy? Would that be effective? Not particularly is the answer. Okay. Abyssinia is, of course, split up. As is Demont. Just checking options over here. Yeah, we'd want to carve in, like, over here. That would be 4. We could do that. And then Alwa is actually a solid holy war as well. So we can do that, and then we're basically out of piety. So that's fine. We can... I was going to say we can go on a pilgrimage, but we're at war. We can't go on a pilgrimage while at war. That is true. So we're going to raise up our troops over here. Do we need anything other than just men-at-arms? Probably not, but we're probably going to do basically the same thing we did in the last war. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we'll raise up a couple thousand here. We don't need much more than this. And they're going to go in and start a slow siege. Okay. So these will head in as soon as they're done. There they go. And yeah, they don't want to fight this. I don't blame them for that. And we are going to split off our bombards. And then these guys are going to come down over this way. See if we can catch this force. Group this together. And we have a siege commander here. That's perfect. This guy's fine as well. Okay. I would like to catch this force. They're running away. We might be able to catch them over here. We're going to have to come back up northward here pretty soon. Yeah, we catch them here. This is perfect. I'm assuming one of these is commanded by ruler. It probably is. That's a stack wipe. And a second stack wipe. Perfect. And then we'll head up over here. We lost a county title. Oh, we accidentally gave this away. That's a pretty big issue. We're going to start working on swaying him. Wait, we have a hook. So we would revoke this county, and he would accept this. So we're just going to take it back. Our territory, not your territory. So we can actually upgrade outer bailies here. I think that's a good thing to do. We can also upgrade that here and probably here as well. Yes. Perfect. We don't need to sway this guy anymore. He is very upset. I don't blame him, but we can definitely revoke this title. I think he granted out that barony. But we can do that, and we are now fine. We're at 15 of 15, and I think that's every castle that we hold. Yeah, we're good. No problem there. Okay, we're going to come down to these wars again. So these guys are up over here with 15k. That's quite a lot of people. We definitely want to make our way over to the capital of Outer Ajuran over here. We have ticking now. But I want to make our way up over here and fight this force. And that is, of course, this army over here. There's a force over here that we should probably take out as well. Okay, we're going to catch these guys here, no problem. We're going to go into the barony capital of Outer Ajuran. We finished that war up, or rather not that war, that battle. We're going to come over here and fight these guys. We are currently fighting Aachen, and that's very awkward. What war are they in? The Duchy of Adal. Okay. That's fine. That war is going to be over very shortly. In fact, we probably don't even need to fight them here. Yeah, we don't. But we'll go ahead and stack wipe their army there, just to be on the safe side. And we will enforce our demands here. Perfect. This will need to be handed on out. And we'll do something along the lines of that for now. We'll come back to that a little bit later on. Now, our other wars are Alodia and Alwa. Okay. So we're going to head up over this way. While we're on our way over, I'm going to raise a few extra troops here. They have 15k, so we should definitely get ourselves a few more. And our siege force, they're just going to head up over here. So this is Makuria's army? Yeah, that's Makuria's army. Okay. Now, Tita here could theoretically stack wipe our siege force, and if they do, that's not the end of the world. We'll see if they actually get around to it. So we're going to raise up around 60,000 troops, apparently. I didn't intend to raise this much. I intended to raise like 15,000. So these guys are going to walk away, and once we can, we're going to disband them. And we can do that right now. There we go. So we are going to group these guys together up over here. And we're going to go fight them. We'll have no problem with this combat. There we go. Yep, we catch them here. As expected, no problems. We could siege this back. We do need a new marshal, and that would be probably this guy. We did get a valuable hostage there. So we can cap this back, and that's interesting. The Duchy of Alwa is very close to being done. That war, I mean. So we can head up over here, and then maybe siege this castrum, and we'd be very close. Now, they have ticking war score at this point, so this siege isn't going to fix the problem. It's not going to end the war. This siege likely would. So we're going to head up there. Just make sure that these guys don't have ticking for the time being. We do get a Dynasty Legacy, and I'd like to grab Private Army. That will give us max number of men-at-arms regiments, and it'll also give us access to House Guards, which I think are probably better heavy infantry than what we have right now. We'll take a look at that after this war. So this war is complete, and we have one more war. So we'll enforce those demands, and we'll head down over this way. These guys will just head to here for now. We'll, of course, need to hand out all of these titles. So we'll do something along the lines of this, no problem here. We may end up hitting our vassal limit fairly soon, but we have so many vassals over here that we can hand out. Yeah, we're above our vassal limit. I'm not too concerned about that right now. Again, that's going to be an after the war sort of thing. So let's just finish up this war real quick. No issue for the moment here. And we're going to want to get ticking war score as soon as we can. I'm not sure where their army is. Oh, they're in another war as well. War against tyranny. So they're probably fighting that instead. Okay, that's fine. We'll head up over this way. We're 32% war score right now, and it's going to increase, but we're not getting all that much war score from this occupation. But we will get these sieges done incredibly quickly, so that's fine. That puts us at 37, and ticking will now be on our side. And we're just going to siege our way through this little pass here. 39%. 53%. Wonderful. So that's like 4.6 to 13.9% per county. That's not huge, but it's reasonably acceptable considering they have quite a number of counties. Not as many as we do, but they have a fair amount. We have way, way more. Like, our empire is insane. Our empire is in the unwieldy category at this point. We're going to grab flexible truces, if I can get my mouth to function. That usually helps. We're going to move up over this way as well. Now, I have a dangerous faction brewing here, and what is this? Peasants? Liberty. And peasants. There are peasants as well. But this Liberty faction is something that we should probably think about dealing with. We can arrange a marriage here. And this is good. That should solve that problem. There we go. So we'll get this siege done here. We're getting very close at this point to having this war over. Royal Armory is going to be done in 9 years. Cranes in 5. Okay. We're 80% war score. We're going to hit this castle, and then if we need to, we'll hit their capital. I think we'll still need to. So we'll just head into their capital, and no problem there. We're 92%, so yeah, to their capital. Nope, it's too expensive. Okay, 10 more days. And there we go. War is over. So we'll enforce those demands, disband our troops, and we will hand out these titles over here. Now we're going to need to get a king over this way. That's pretty clear. So what do we have for kingdom titles available here? Egypt is a kingdom level title. We can create that title, and we can give that over to, say, this guy. 11 vassals will go with, but we may be able to transfer some de jure as well. We can vassalize this guy. We would need to do low feudal obligations, but sure. I don't even know where he is, but yeah, you can join. And we probably also want to bump up our feudal taxes here. Perfect. Now, there's one more thing that I want to do before we end this episode, and that is that I want to look at our our armored footmen here. And we're actually a little oversized for our men-at-arms here. We can grab ourselves another unit of bombards, and that's absolutely amazing. We can cap that out immediately. So we'll do that, and we can now potentially swap these out to house guards instead of armored footmen. So house guards are a little cheaper, and they have just flat better stats. They're about half the cost, and their stats are just better. They've got 24 screen. They've got no pursuit, but I mean, no screen and no pursuit from armored footmen. And the house guards have 60 toughness compared to the 41 toughness from armored footmen, and 81 damage from armored footmen compared to 101 from house guards. They counter the same units. Actually, they don't. House guards counter spearmen and archers, whereas armored footmen only counter spearmen. So house guards are just better. So we're going to disband our unit of armored footmen and our second unit of armored footmen. And we're going to get house guards. We're going to get 2 units. Actually, we can only get one of those. We can only get one. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's a bit of a waste of cash, but it's not that big of a deal. So we'll bump those up to maximum and our house guards as well. They cap out at size 5. Okay, I'm really dumb. I didn't realize that. Well, that was just a huge waste of cash. I'm not too concerned about that, though, in all honesty. There we go. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, hopefully I'll waste less cash, and, you know, we'll probably finish taking over this area here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Rose Valentine, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.